The most common mistake I see new Amazon sellers make is making purchases without checking the Keepa price history. And when you're doing that, you're essentially just gambling, throwing shit at the wall and hoping something sticks. And you're not going to make money like that. I hate to break it to you, but you need to learn and master how to read Keepa graphs. So in this video, I'm going to be covering the basics and how to set up your setting. And I'll also go over some good products versus bad products. I'll also show you whether the listing should be FBM or whether it should be FBA, because Keepa will also tell you that. So by the end of this video, I hope that you get a really good understanding of Keepa graphs. So without further ado, let's just get right into the video. All right, so I brought up these shoes right here, which are some of the ugliest shoes I've ever seen, but that's not the point here. The point is that we're going to be taking a look at Keepa graphs. So just to kind of show you guys what's on here, this is Jungle Scout. This is SellerAmp. This is our profit calculator. This is Jungle Scout. I use this to kind of get a better sales estimator. And then this is Ace and Gadget. I like to request approval through here. It's easier. And then here, this is the buy box here. So when everybody says, oh, the buy box is not active or the buy box is not there, this is what they're talking about. This is the buy box. That's simple, add to cart and buy now. And then here are the other third-party sellers that are on this listing. And down here is the bread and butter, which is Keepa. So there's a couple things going on here. There's the sales rank, which is this green line that's right here, as you can see. 1,000 rank being the fastest selling rank, and 100,000 being on the little bit slower side. But the higher the rank, the slower the product is moving, and the lower the rank, the faster the product is moving. Sales rank is the velocity of the product. Then we have the buy box. That is the current price that they're selling at. So as you can see right here, they're selling at $80 right now. This is the price over here. This is the rank. This is the date. Okay, and then we have Amazon. So Amazon is also a seller on the platform. Obviously, it's their platform. They also sell, but they share the sales with third-party sellers. So there's going to be times where they're going to be on some listings. There's going to be times where they fully dominate the listings. From here to here, Amazon was on the listing, and now that it's off the listing, there's other sellers getting sales in here as well. So this just means that there's a new seller here. This means new third-party FBA. This means new third-party FBM, and these don't really matter. There's also this right here, but I think it's pretty pointless. And then we have here the ratings. We have the review count. We have the new offer count. Very important here, this purple line at the bottom. See here, there was 7 sellers at this point, and then 6, and then it dropped down to 5, and now back up at 7. So the seller count fluctuating like this is actually really good, because this means that there's sales happening, and we can double confirm because the sales rank is very low as well. So that's going to be the basics here. So when you come on here, the most important thing that you want to check is the buy box. You want to make sure that it's very steady. And I'll show you guys a different Keepa graph on a different product on what's a bad Keepa graph and what's a good Keepa graph. So this one here is really good. This is something I would consider selling if I'm able to purchase this product and be profitable. There's 3 rule of thumbs. First, check your ungated. 2, check for profitability. And 3, check that the Keepa checks out. So the Keepa checks out here. Next, I would check for profitability, and then I would check if I'm ungated. No matter what order, just make sure that those 3 check out. All right, so if you wanted to track the product and add it to a tracking list, I don't really necessarily use this, but the most important thing here is checking the data. So if I zoom out a little bit, you can see all the information about this product here. You can see the 90 days average. It was a rank 2000. So for the last 90 days, even 180 days, the rank has been pretty good here. You can see the reviews. You can see like the last price change, the buy box seller, just a ton of information here. And then there's other variations, ASINs, which we'll get into variations in just a second. So all the information here, if you were confused about the size, you want to double confirm the size, you can always come down here and confirm it. So any questionable information about the ASIN specifically, you can find it here. And then another rule of thumb is when you are calculating a buy cost and selling price on a listing, it's good to check this little thing here, cover over it, and check the average selling price for the last 90 days. And also make sure that you're profitable there as well, because you just never know. The price could fluctuate up and down, and it's best to calculate, to be on the safe side, that you're profitable on the average selling price. So we'll go back to data here. That was the product details. Now we're going to go into offers. So this right here is, you can change this graph in 90 days. And then you can also put this prime. I like to just keep it unchecked and see what everybody else is selling. You can also include historical offers if you wanted to see what other people were selling at historically. But the main thing that I look at here, and I also organize my columns like this. So if you want to stop the video right here and take a quick screenshot and organize everything how it is right here, that's how I have mine set up. But one of the things that we're looking at here when we come down to this listing is you want to check these sold 30 days and you want to come down here. So this specific variation, this size 7.5 in men, is selling relatively slow because not a lot of men are size 7.5. So that's why we can come to the conclusion that this one is actually selling very slow. So if you were to come on this listing and you see that it's selling 5,000 times a month, but this specific shoe size and color is only selling 10 times a month. So when you're selling different variations, it's very important that you keep track of that. So you can double confirm on the Keepa how many units this actual ASIN is selling. So the next thing that I check is the stock history of every seller. As you can see here, this seller had 17 in stock, and then he sold a couple units from February 6 to February 10. So you can tell that this product is actually selling. And then you can see the name of the seller. You can see also how long they have been on the listing. So if there's a seller that's been on this listing for a very long time and you can see that their stock is moving, that means that this product is a potential replenishable product that you can consistently restock over and over again. So that's how you find a replens. Not only that, you can check his store and look for other products that he's selling that you can also find. They're all pre-vetted products. And then you can start your list of replenishable products as well. So that's a little hot tip there for you guys. Now let's get into the nitty gritty, the buy box statistics. Now this is going to tell you whether you should FBM or FBA a product. So as you can see here, this seller here, Authentic Source, is getting 51% of the buy box shares. That means he is spending 50% of the time in the buy box and he's getting a lot of sales. One, he has really good reviews. These guys also have really good reviews. He's also not an FBA seller. He is actually selling the shoes himself, fulfilling them himself, shipping directly to the customer via FBM. So this seller here is FBA. He's getting 33% of these shares. So it's evenly distributed amongst FBA and FBM sellers. So you can actually make educated guess that you can actually FBM and FBA these shoes as well. So if you zoom out to 90 days, you can see this guy here, he's still dominating the buy box, but the other guys are still getting shares as FBA. So if you wanted to beat this guy and get like a share here, you could send them to FBA if you're profitable then, or you can also FBM them. Another thing is you can test FBM and see if they sell within the next 24, 48 hours. If you don't get any sales then, don't waste any more time, send them off to FBA where they have a better chance of selling. Okay, so that's the buy box statistics here. Now let's look at variations. In variations, very important that you set up your settings like so. So this is how I have my tabs set up. Again, you can pause the video here and copy how I have my setups. So a couple things going on here. You want to toggle this on right here. The little trophy is the variation that's getting the most sales. So this could be for anything. If there's different colors, different flavors for any different product, this comes in handy because you can see the top variation. So like we looked at this variation here, you guys remember that it was getting only 10 sales in 30 days. Well, this listing right here is actually dominating all of the sales. It's getting 1.36% of all of these sales. And you can see that there's 17,000 ratings for this size medium, whatever size this is. We can actually check. It's a size 10.5. It has 500 reviews, 17,000 ratings. And this is the ASIN. So if you couldn't find this one profitably, or let's say you found this one profitably and you want to take just a couple units, but then you also found this one profitably, then you can actually get more of these units because you know that they're going to sell a lot quicker. So back to the Keepa thing. Now let me show you guys a product that is a very bad Keepa Graph. So as you can see here, in August of last year, This product, somehow, I think it went on sale or something. No idea what happened, but all these sellers here, as you can see, start getting on the listing, about 100 new offers, and then the price just starts going down. So this is a really good example of something you definitely want to stay away from when you are sourcing products. If you see this going down and this going up, definitely stay far away from it. As you can see now, we fast forward into the future, you can see that the seller count is starting to drop off. I think this product might be going out of stock at the retailers, and now the price is starting to go up. So when it starts to look like that, where the price is going up and the seller count is going down, that's an excellent product that you want to jump on if you're able to find it profitably. And so that's how you read Keepa Graphs like a pro. And if you have any questions, drop them down in the comments and I'll get back to you. If you want to work directly with me and my team to help you start and scale your Amazon business and streamline the entire process, I'll have a link down below. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next video.